Good evening and welcome to Tampa Bay Tonight. I'm Wendy Ryan. Our top story, law enforcement across the country now in mourning.
4 officers killed and 4 others wounded in a shootout at a North Carolina home. They were trying to serve a warrant when the suspect opened fire. When officers returned fire, they killed the suspect in the front yard. Then a second person fired at officers from inside the house, where a woman and a 17-year-old were found, and they are now being questioned. Meanwhile, the Tampa Police Department released a statement extending their condolences to the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department, and they said it was another sad day for law enforcement and first responders nationwide.
Tonight, we have new details about a shootout in Polk County that left 2 deputies wounded. The department releasing these pictures of Sheriff Grady Judd visiting the deputies in the hospital. Investigators saying tonight the suspect who died was connected to an extremist group. ABC Action News reporter Chad Mills spoke to that man's mother about his violent end.
She's devastated that her son died in such a violent way, but she's not upset with deputies. She's upset with whoever led her son down the path that he was on.
I want to introduce you to 2 heroes. This is Lieutenant Chad Anderson and Deputy Craig Smith.
2 Polk County deputies still in the hospital after a weekend shooting. Sheriff Grady Judd says it happened as they backed up another deputy who was patrolling North Lakeland after a series of burglaries, including one at Hunter Fountain Park.
Gangbangers, kids, teenagers, flip door handles, looking for cash, credit cards, and guns.
At the park, Judd says deputies found a man parked inside a car who refused to cooperate or identify himself.
So Craig Smith, Chad Anderson go to the door and say, "Hey, look, man." They tried to talk to him. You've got to identify yourself. You've got to come out and talk to us. And he wouldn't, and his car started rolling. They grabbed the window, and all of a sudden, he started shooting.
Anderson and Smith were hit, and deputies returned fire, killing the man in the car, who we're also learning more about.
And I want to show you what we found in his car.
Judd says 26-year-old K-Mac Elbay was armed with 3 guns. The sheriff says Elbay was homeless and was a member of the Moorish movement, a sovereign citizens group.
The Moorish rejects federal, state, and local law.
According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, members of the group, quote, have engaged in violent confrontations with law enforcement.
He was a good kid. He never gave me any trouble.
In a phone interview with the suspect's mom, she says she was taken totally by surprise. She lives in California, where her son was attending Fresno State before he was apparently radicalized and moved to Florida.
Actually, I'm still in shock. Your worst nightmare as a parent, to have something like this happen. I'd like to apologize to the 2 officers that were injured. I hope they have a speedy recovery.
According to the sheriff, the deputies' recoveries will take months. He asks anyone who would like to support them and their families to visit polksheriff.org/donate. In Polk County, Chad Mills, ABC Action News.